Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers live, page by page, reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. So today we're going back into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, which goes over blessings for obedience, warnings against disobedience. Let's see. And those are the only two sections in chapter 28. But it sounds like it should be interesting. Obedience. I'm not so sure as to how I feel about that particular word, obedience. There's a lot of connotations to it. But rather than me prejudging this chapter, let me just go ahead and start reading it. But I will provide my commentary as I see fit. And I hope all of you are having a nice day, by the way. If you deserve a nice day. If you don't deserve a nice day, I hope you don't have a nice day. Here we go. Blessings for obedience. Now it will be, if you will diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God, being careful to do all his commandments, which I am commanding you today, then the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings will come on you and overtake you if you listen to the voice of the Lord your God. So, in other words, God is saying, if you listen to me, then everything's going to work out beautifully for you. But if you don't listen to me, nothing's going to work out. That really simplifies life, doesn't it? Because I think there's a lot of truth to this book of Deuteronomy. But let's keep going. You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the field. Your offspring will be blessed in the produce of your ground and the offspring of your livestock, the increase of your herd, and the flocks of your sheep. Your basket and your kneading bowl will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. I don't know why I find this so funny today, but I really like God's mentality, at least how it's illustrated in the Old Testament. I really like it. Let's keep going. The Lord will cause your enemies who rise up against you to be defeated before you. They will come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. The Lord will command the blessing on you in your barns and in all that you set your hand to do. He will bless you in the land which the Lord your God is giving you. You know what just came to mind when it comes to blessings and everything? Look, I think there's a lot of reality. In fact, I just feel like blessings are a reality. And how do we know this? I'll tell you. Whenever you hear someone say, well, that's not fair, it actually is fair. Because whatever you think isn't fair, in other words, the other person's gain, they probably have it because they were blessed. That's what it was or is. I think some people are just a lot more blessed than other people. And I think it happens, when it has to do with maybe who blesses whoever is blessed, or if the person incurs the blessing themselves through good deeds or, just helping others or doing what God has asked of that person. I think that's what it is. All right. Anyway, that was my excessive commentary for the day. The Lord will establish you as a holy people to himself, just as he swore to you, if you will keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. All people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. The Lord will make you overflow in prosperity, in the offspring of your body, in the offspring of your livestock, and in the produce of your ground, in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give you. The Lord will open up to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. You will lend to many nations, but you will not borrow. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You will you will only be above, and you will not be beneath. If you listen to the commandments of the Lord your God, which I am commanding you today, to observe and to do them. Also, you shall not turn aside from any of the words which I am commanding you today, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. I would say the book of Deuteronomy, chapters 26 to 28, could pretty much be the equivalent of what has become really popular when it comes to Christianity, and I'm referring to the Ten Commandments. I kind of feel like everything that Deuteronomy goes over, but specifically chapters 26 to 28, I just kind of feel like it's a more well-rounded it's just a more well-rounded way of living than what the Ten Commandments commanded. I guess you could look at the Ten Commandments as like, okay, this is version 1.0 of what I want you to do. But if you want to look at what God really wants you to do, as everything was getting perfected, you would want to look at the book of Deuteronomy. But anyway, let's go ahead and go into warnings against disobedience. Now, this should be good. I haven't pre-read this, so I don't know what it's going to be, but I have a feeling it's going to be good because God gets mad, and rightfully so. But God does give warnings. And, anyone who I think really enjoys reading about the wrath of God, such as myself, as you go about your own life, doing whatever it is that you choose to do, I always think that when it's someone who deserves to be punished, like really punished, but you can tell they've never really been punished before, always at least give them one warning first. Some people say, I shouldn't give any warning. But I disagree because, again, I like the Old Testament God. And I feel like, look, if God saw fit to give a warning, I should too. So anyway, here we go. Warnings against disobedience. But it will happen if you will not listen to the Lord. I'm sorry. It's just the way that this is written. I almost feel like I should read this particular chapter in the old King James version, but I won't. I'm just gonna read it in the modern English version. Let me try to chill out a little bit. I'm just having a good day. For some reason lately, reading the Bible has really made me giggle, and I don't know why. But it will happen if you will not listen to the voice of the Lord your God by being careful to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I am commanding you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Woo! The curses. This is going to be great. Here we go. You will be cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Your basket and your kneading bowl will be cursed. Your offspring will be cursed along with the fruit of your land, the produce of your herd, and the flocks of your sheep. You will be cursed when you come in and cursed when you go out. The Lord will send cursing, vexation, and rebuke on you all that you set your hand to do until you are destroyed and until you perish quickly because of the wickedness of your doings, by which you have forsaken me. The Lord will make pestilence cling to you until it has consumed you from the land which you are going to possess. The Lord will strike you with a wasting disease, with a fever, with an inflammation, with an extreme heat, with the sword, with the blight, with mildew, and they shall pursue you until you perish. Man, there are some live streamers who I think might be cursed. And that, when I really think about it, might have been cursed who have recently passed away. I'll tell you, the thing about the Bible, everyone's like, oh, the Bible ended. God's not really around, in our lives anymore. Yeah, he is, or she, or it, whatever you want to refer to God as being. Yeah. I'll just say, there are some of these people who I've covered who are live streamers. And when you really watch their lives and you start to see just the wear and tear on their body and how these strange ailments come out of nowhere and afflict them. I mean, it sounds like the book of Deuteronomy. It just does. It feels like it. So one day we'll talk about this in a video live stream more so, but let me finish this chapter before I go off too much. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay. The heavens which are over your head will be bronze, and the earth that is under you will be iron. The Lord will make rain of your land powder and dust. It will come from heaven down on you until you are destroyed. The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemies, and you will go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. And they will become an object of terror to all the kingdoms of the earth. Your carcass will be meat for all the fowls of the air and beasts of the earth, and no man will frighten them away. The Lord will strike you with the boils of Egypt, and with tumors, eczema, and with the itch from which you cannot be healed. The Lord will strike you with madness and blindness and bewilderment of heart. You will grope at noon as the blind man gropes in the darkness, and you will not prosper in your ways. You will only be oppressed and continually robbed, and no man will save you. Wow. That's harsh. That is harsh. God is not playing in chapter 28 of the book of Deuteronomy. You will be engaged to a woman, and another man shall rape her. Oh, wow. I can't believe that this was in here. Wow. Huh. Deuteronomy chapter 28, passage 30. It says, you will be engaged to a woman, and another man shall rape her. You will build a house, but you will not dwell in it. You will plant a vineyard, but you will not gather its grapes. Wow. Interesting how the word grapes and rape are both in this passage. I have to screen cap this. Hold up. I mean, I don't know why I'm screen capping it. It's the Bible. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. I'm just having a good day, and I can't believe that this is in Deuteronomy 28. Wow. Wow. Mm, this is controversial. Your ox will be killed before your eyes, and you will not eat of it. Your donkey will be violently taken away from before you, and it will not be returned to you. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and you will have no one to rescue them. Your sons and daughters will be given to another people. Your eyes will look and fail with longing for them all day long, but there will be nothing you can do. A nation that you do not know will consume the produce of your land and all your labors, and you will be nothing but oppressed and crushed all the time. You will go insane because of what your eyes will see. Wow, this is awesome. This is the chapter of the Bible that everyone should read if they are angry at somebody and they're like, and you're just like in your head and you're like, you just want to like do something, but you feel helpless. Read this. This will make you feel better. This is freaking awesome. This is awesome. This might be my favorite chapter of the Bible. I think it is. You will go insane because of what your eyes will see. The Lord will strike you in the knees and in the legs with sore boils that cannot be healed from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. Man, this sounds just like that live streamer, Only Use Me Blade. He's cursed. And I think I know why. I think he delves in the dark arts, and I think that he and that woman that he's with are killing people. And I think they've done it twice now, and I think that they attempted something else recently, but it didn't work. I know that sounds weird. If you don't follow other things that I am up to, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But it was definitely meant for me to read this chapter of the Bible at this particular time, considering some other things happening within my life right now. Thank you, God. Appreciate it. All right, where did I leave off? Sorry. Okay. The Lord will bring you and your king, which you will set over you, to a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. And there you will serve other gods, wood and stone. You will become a horror, a proverb, and an object of ridicule among all nations where the Lord shall lead you. You will carry a lot of seed out into the field, but will gather but little in, for the locusts will consume it. You will plant vineyards and dress them, but will neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms will eat them. You will have olive trees throughout all your coast, but you will not anoint yourself with the oil, for your olive will drop off. You will give birth to sons and daughters, but you will not enjoy them, for they will go into captivity. The locust will consume all of your trees and fruit of your land. The foreigner who resides with you will get up higher and higher, and you will go down lower and lower. He will lend to you, but you will not lend to him. He will be the head, but you will be the tail. Moreover, all of these curses will come on you and will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the voice of the Lord your God by keeping his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. They will be a perpetual sign and wonder in regards to you and your descendants, because you did not serve the Lord your God with joy and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore, you will serve your enemies, whom the Lord will send against you, in hunger, thirst, nakedness, in need of all things. And he will put a yoke of iron on your neck until he has destroyed you. The Lord will bring a nation against you from far away, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose language you will not understand, a nation with a fierce countenance, which will not respect the old or show favor to the young. They will eat the offspring of your livestock and the produce of your land until you are destroyed. They will leave you no grain, wine, or oil, or the offspring of your herd, or the offspring of your sheep, until they have destroyed you. They will lay siege on you in all your towns until your high and fortified walls in which you trusted come down throughout all your land, and he will lay siege on you in all your towns throughout all your land which the Lord your God has given you. You will eat the offspring of your own body, the flesh of your own sons and daughters, which the Lord your God has given you during the siege and distress in which your enemies will persecute you. The man who is tender among you, a very delicate, his eye shall be hostile toward his brother, and toward his beloved wife, and toward the rest of his children who remain, so that he will not give to any of them any of the flesh of his children which he will eat, because he has nothing left to him, because of the siege of the distress by which your enemies will persecute you in all your towns. The tender and delicate woman among you, who would not venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and tenderness, will be hostile toward her beloved husband, and toward her son and her daughter, and toward her afterbirth that comes out from between her legs, and toward her children whom she will bear. Ew. For she for she will secretly eat them because of lack during the siege and distress in which your enemy will persecute you in your towns. Wow. If you are not careful to observe all the words of this law that are written in this book, so that you may fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord your God, then the Lord will bring extraordinary plagues on you and your descendants, even great long-lasting plagues and severe and long-lasting sickness. Moreover, he will bring all the diseases of Egypt upon you, which you were afraid of, and they will cling to you. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law will the Lord bring upon you until you are destroyed. You will be left few in number, whereas you were numerous as the stars of heaven, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. It will be that the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you. So the Lord will take pleasure over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing. You will be plucked from the land which you go to possess. The Lord will scatter you among all the peoples, from one end of the earth to the other. And there you will serve other gods, wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. Among these nations you will find no ease, nor will the sole of your foot have rest. But the Lord will give you a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and despair of soul. Your life shall hang in doubt before you. You will be in dread day and night, and will have no assurance of your life. In the morning you will say, if only it were evening. And at evening you will say, if only it were morning, because of the fear of your heart and because of the sights your eyes will see. Wow. I mean, this is a translation I'm reading, but I mean, just the idea that's being conveyed in those passages. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, passage 67. Interesting, very interesting thought that's being conveyed here. I'm not going to say, but I kind of am saying, you can kind of tell exactly who God is talking about in this chapter of the Bible. You can see it today, exactly who he's talking about and what was done. The Bible is definitely real, I'll say that. The Lord will bring you into Egypt again with ships by the way by which I spoke to you. You will not see it ever again. And there you will be sold to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you. Wow, that last part. But no one will buy you. It basically, this person who received this information from God, I mean, that's the ultimate diss right there. Saying, you know what? You're going to be enslaved, but you're going to be so piss poor of character, and everyone's going to see it within you, physically and otherwise, that even though you're the lowest of the low slave, still no one's going to buy you. That's how shitty you are. That is what the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, says. Wow, at least from my perspective, that's my opinion. But this was great. Wow, this was great. This might be my favorite chapter of the Bible so far. I do love the book of Genesis. I love the book of Leviticus also. But Deuteronomy, wow. Deuteronomy is pretty intense. So everyone have a great day. Thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you most likely tomorrow. Bye-bye.